Today's program description, how Alibaba.com is driving success to B2B retail in 2021, is as follows. If you are looking for a new and innovative sales channel on a global scale in 2021, here is your opportunity to learn about Alibaba.com, the world's largest wholesale marketplace, to bring retail suppliers and brands more ways to drive revenue. Alibaba.com is like a 24-hour trade show, and their U.S. Global Gold Supplier membership offers access to 10 million plus active business buyers across 190 plus countries and regions. This recently launched program offers an opportunity to be one of the first U.S. sellers to tap into this local and global demand. Presenting today's program is Steve Cohn, Channel Partnerships Manager at Alibaba. Steve is a key member of the U.S. Alibaba.com team who specializes in helping U.S. small and medium-sized businesses optimize their sales on Alibaba.com. So without further ado, I am pleased to turn the program over to Steve.
Great, thank you, Caitlin, and thank you for RVCF putting on this webinar, and thanks for everyone who's attending. So before we get started, just to lay out the agenda, like Caitlin mentioned, we're going to cover a bit about how Alibaba.com is driving success to B2B retail in 2021. I will go into at a high level what it is that I do, how Alibaba.com works, and how we can help your business. And so, as Caitlin mentioned, some quick background on myself. Again, I am the Channel Partnership Manager for Alibaba.com B2B. Based out of the US headquarters in New York. I've been with Alibaba for about 4+ years now, and worn multiple hats in the organization. Started as a sourcing agent really for Alibaba.com, helping buyers purchase and source goods from our network of sellers on our site. Then moved into somewhat of an account manager or customer success for some of the US businesses who are now already selling on our marketplace. And now today, I'm a channel partnership manager. So I work with a lot of organizations like RVCF and others alike to help drive new business, specifically US businesses, to our B2B marketplace. And so what is Alibaba.com, right? The definition, right, is a global B2B e-commerce marketplace. A quick history lesson, Alibaba Group, right, originated back in 1999. And particularly Alibaba.com was the original business unit under the group umbrella. And at what once was just a directory or a yellow pages for Chinese manufacturers is now an end-to-end marketplace with global buyers and sellers. So we've really come a long way in 20 years. And as Caitlin mentioned in the introduction, an easy way to describe what Alibaba.com does is it's like a virtual trade show, right? We are open 24/7, 365 days a year. Sellers around the world can connect with buyers around the world. So domestically here in the United States and anywhere outside the United States in over 190 countries. And since we originated 20 years ago or 21 years ago now, we have been named the best B2B platform in the world by Forbes 8 years in a row. And so I'm sure this face looks familiar to some of you. This is our founder, Jack Ma, more, in my opinion, a global celebrity at this point. He's done a lot of philanthropy work and is really a public figure nowadays more than anything else. But this quote I wanted to include because it really rings true to our values here at Alibaba. We are not an e-commerce company. We are a company helping others become an e-commerce company. We provide, and when I say we, Alibaba.com, we provide the tools that your business needs to help you grow, whether that's to become an e-commerce online seller or to find more retail customers, more distribution. We're giving you the tools and giving you the access to be able to grow and do so. So what is Alibaba.com, right? I mentioned this already, but we are the largest online marketplace designed for global B2B trade or business to business trade, or in other words, wholesale. So again, similar to a trade show, right? These in-person events that we all used to love so much, Alibaba provides buyers access to a network of over 300,000 sellers all over the world who are looking to sell their product in bulk at wholesale cost, right? So what sort of value do we provide to our sellers? Right? Our sellers will get access and be able to connect with qualified buyers that fit their needs or your needs, right? Qualified buyers meaning businesses who are legitimate, in good standing, provided necessary information for us to vet to ensure that they are a qualified business that could fit your criteria. What sort of value do we provide to our buyers, right? Access really to a global network of trusted sellers and the simplified tools that these buyers need to communicate and transact with these sellers. What we don't do is we don't hold any inventory, so that we don't have any warehouses, we don't have any fulfillment centers, like some of the other online channels that you may be familiar with. We don't provide our own logistics service, and we don't sell our own product, nor do we have our own seller accounts, right? So really what we are doing is giving our buyers and sellers the complete freedom to own the relationship with the potential customer. So some key stats about Alibaba.com, right? How many buyers are there? So on a monthly basis, what we see on average is about 10 million plus active buyers. Now, the definition of an active buyer is really anyone who has shown some sort of buying intent or activity on our platform in the last 30 days. Whether that's an inquiry, right? A detailed form that indicates who they are, where they're located, the product that they're looking for, number of units, a description of their business, or they've transacted in the last 30 days. Right? That's the definition of an active buyer. And so monthly we have about 10 million, and those 10 million are across over 190 countries. So it's one platform that exists all over the world, right? So sellers who list product on Alibaba get instant access to this network of global customers. Now, those inquiries that I mentioned, again, these are detailed forms similar to a purchase request or request for quote, right? So you'll have an idea of exactly who these buyers are, where they're located, what they're looking for, product requirements, so that you can qualify them as you need to, right? There are about 300,000 or more of these inquiries sent on a daily basis, right? Detailed purchase requests that are sent through Alibaba directly to sellers that you can quote instantly. So you receive these inquiries, you decide whether it's a good fit, and you then start communicating directly through the portal with that buyer. Now, the orders that are placed on Alibaba, on average, the value of these orders hover around $5,000. And so again, this is bulk or wholesale. Right? Buyers are going to Alibaba.com to find a supplier that they can foster a relationship with so that they can purchase in very large quantities. Of the 10 million buyers that are on Alibaba on average monthly, 35% of them, and this is the largest demographic, 35% of them are in the United States. So again, the biggest buying group on Alibaba.com, the most active country purchasing products on Alibaba is in the United States. And the number one request from these US buyers and buyers all over the world is that they want to have access to more US product. They want to be able to go to Alibaba.com and find different sellers, different retailers, different businesses in the US who are listing their products and services on our marketplace. So a bit more detail on the Alibaba buyer breakdown and the demographic, right? I mentioned that the US is number 1. So on the left side, you can see the top 20 buying countries, right? US number 1, India number 2, Canada number 3, and so on. To the right are the top 10 categories or industries that these buyers are looking for, or sending inquiries for, or even transacting in. And so the top categories sold on Alibaba, as you can see, can be food and beverage, agriculture, beauty, health and wellness or personal care items, apparel, consumer electronics, and so on. Our goal, and part of this initiative in launching here in the United States, is to not only diversify the business types, but to also diversify the product categories of sellers in the United States to meet the growing demand on Alibaba.com. So who uses Alibaba.com? So contrary to a lot of people think, the most common buyers, the majority of the businesses using Alibaba.com identify themselves as small businesses, right? The buyers on Alibaba across the globe, they can be any of the ones listed below that you see. Retail store owners, grocers and restaurant owners, office managers, manufacturers can be buying on Alibaba, hospital and school administrators, so educational facilities, universities as such, hotels, motels, inns, other hospitality groups, private and public organizations. We work, as I mentioned, with a lot of organizations, a lot of trade show coordinators that use Alibaba to source marketing collateral or promotional items, right, to hand out in swag bags and such and stuff like that. Who is selling on Alibaba.com? Some of the business types that are selling on our site can be listed below: custom product manufacturers, online retailers, domestic and global product distributors, farmers and processors, brand manufacturers, chemical manufacturers, original equipment manufacturers, and other retailers. These are some of the sellers that are listing and a good fit to be selling on Alibaba.com. So why should US companies list their product with us? So again, we launched this program in just the last year. So this is the first time in our company's history that US businesses have been able to sell their product on our platform. In that last year, US sellers on Alibaba have seen an increase in online GMV, gross merchandise value, so the total dollar amount of products sold. They've seen an increase of online GMV of over 145% year over year. And the number one request from our buyers is to connect with some of these US sellers. Why? Better quality of product, faster lead time to our largest buying demographic. So you can provide faster shipping to the majority of the businesses that are purchasing on Alibaba, right? Versus a buyer in the United States purchasing from a seller overseas. A US seller can provide faster response time and faster shipping to our US buyers. And of course, just overall trust and comfort of doing business, right? Our buyers in the US are looking to find local options, local sourcing opportunities to do business in the United States. Today, less than 1% of the sellers on Alibaba.com are in the United States. I'll repeat that. So we work with sellers all over the world in over 190 countries. Less than 1% of those sellers today are based in the United States. So the contrast of the number one buying demographic being in the United States versus the smallest seller market on Alibaba today really promotes an opportunity, right? And so the early adapters of this program for US sellers coming onto Alibaba benefit from a lot of different tools and exclusive promotions and services. One of those being a US geotag search or filtering. In other words, not to get too much detail, you can pick and choose as a seller the countries that you want to market to. You can pick and choose the countries that you want to do business in, essentially. And of course, for the time being, we act as a digital solution in place of these in-person trade shows that I know a lot of businesses, myself included, relied on for new customers. So it's really never been more important to digitize your business. So what sort of value can Alibaba bring to your business, right? What are the growth opportunities and what sort of support can our team provide? I've said this throughout the initial part of this webinar, but really the opportunity to get access to a network of qualified global business buyers and the tools that you need to do business with them safely, right? We're giving you access to a network of these customers that go to Alibaba.com looking for suppliers. And of course, exclusive promotions with the Alibaba.com annual membership. Included in that membership, there is advertising credits to generate higher quality traffic and search results. So there are search engine optimizations tools available and marketing tools available for you to improve your performance. And of course, to generate large orders and hopefully lifetime customers, right? We do not want a buyer that we connect you to through our site to just purchase from you one time. We're hoping that we can foster a relationship for your business, that they become lifelong repeat customers for you. And along the way, you have dedicated support from our team. And so part of the launch here in the United States and with the membership, you get full onboarding support, right? We post your products for you. We build a customized storefront on Alibaba.com. All of that heavy lifting and getting your account set up to ensure that you're set up for success is done by our team. And of course, there are exclusive exhibition opportunities, specifically these online trade shows that we host. They're hosted on Alibaba.com, they're hosted on LinkedIn, they're streamed on Facebook, they're streamed on YouTube. So just different ways for you to get connected with more buyers on different platforms that we help drive traffic to. Dedicated account management from our customer success team here in New York. You work really closely with an Alibaba expert to help ensure that you see success. And they're responsible for a few different things, whether that's helping you optimize your performance, whether that's doing performance reviews on a weekly or monthly basis, helping you vet or qualify and engage with customers. They hold your hand every step of the way. Okay? Online B2B is somewhat unfamiliar territory because B2B is traditionally a more in-person or direct relationship. Having that dedicated support from our New York team really provides that sort of opportunity for you to be successful early on in this process. And of course, copyright protection and policing, order protection. We want to make sure that you feel comfortable doing business cross-border anywhere in the world and to do business safely. And we provide those sort of services for you to do that. So how much does it cost? So there are two different memberships to choose from. There is a basic level and there is a premium level. Basic membership is $2,400 for the first year. Premium membership is $4,300 for the first year. We do not take a commission. There is no transaction fee. So there's no percentage on any order to Alibaba. And so as I mentioned early on in this webinar, we're an ally or a partner in this. We want to make sure that you guys are able to grow your business and we give you the freedom to own the relationship with the customer. If after the first year, your business wants to stay on Alibaba, continue to connect with more buyers around the world, both of these memberships drop to 1,400 on an annual basis. And the reason for that is really because in the first year, we are doing all of that heavy lifting that I mentioned, posting your product, building your profile, creating and designing a custom website that lives on the Alibaba platform for you. You're not paying for that setup and onboarding service every single year. So that's just the initial year. So some additional benefits when joining Alibaba.com. There are a variety of different value-added services built in to the platform to provide a safe and simplified way for you to trade globally and trade with confidence, right? One of those services is called Alibaba's Trade Assurance. And the way that I like to describe this service is it really acts as our own escrow, right? It gives our buyers a convenient way to purchase. So there's flexible options for them to do so. That payment security, so the payment is actually tracked to ensure it gets to the supplier, the seller, safely. So in other words, the buyer can pay you, the seller, through Alibaba. Alibaba will confirm the funds have been sent. We will confirm the funds have been received. We then release the funds to you, the seller. And through that process, we offer extended support. And so should the buyer file a dispute or should there be a claim, Alibaba can step in. We assign a case manager and we ensure that there is some sort of solution. We first give you, the seller, and the buyer the opportunity to resolve that on your terms. If there's no solution or resolution, Alibaba can step in and act as that mediator or of sort. In addition to trade assurance and some of the other value-added services we offer, I mentioned this a few different times. We act as an online trade show. We host our own online events as well. So these are invite-only trade shows for US wholesale sellers that are actively selling and have accounts on Alibaba so that they can connect with buyers live online. And I mentioned that these are streamed not only on Alibaba.com, where we have 10 million buyers that visit our platform every single month, but these are streamed live on Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, and other platforms to generate traffic and awareness. And so included in these events, we do curated interactions. So every single month when we host these events, we try to make them category specific and invite only. So that way, buyers that are attending are qualified, right? They are coming with some sort of intent to connect with the seller and learn more and discover new products. As a featured supplier, you're able to give presentations, again, that are broadcasted and live streams on other platforms. And as these presentations are happening, we're able to do curated one-on-one meetings for your business. So in other words, as you do presentations, if there are businesses that want to learn more, our trade show coordinating team can do breakout scheduled one-on-one meetings for you to speak directly with those customers who wanted to learn a bit more about your business and the products that you are selling. And of course, through the week, there are keynote speakers and premium content available. So a lot of industry insights and trends. And of course, we include some digital swag for the attendees that are attending. And so I think that leads to any questions that you all might have. I'm happy to answer them now. Of course, we can set up some time to chat at alibaba.na/RVCF. But I really enjoyed this, and I'm hoping to speak with some of you and chat and answer some questions.
Great, thank you, Steve, for all of your insights and techniques. Now I'd like for us to address some of the questions. First question here, do you see a lot of retail suppliers / manufacturers on the site? What are some benefits?
Yeah, absolutely. So when we started in 1999, right, it was primarily built for manufacturers, right? And I made the analogy of it being like a yellow pages. You can go to Alibaba, find a manufacturer overseas, get their contact information, and connect with them offline. Today, we work with a very diverse group of business types: manufacturers, distributors, a lot of online retailers and brands that are now selling wholesale through Alibaba. I've had the pleasure of working with a lot of different coffee companies, actually. Lavazza being one of the more recognized ones. They use our platform to connect with a lot of retail or brick and mortar stores. And they're using our platform to find retailers all over the world who can purchase from Lavazza directly through our site. And so I think that plays into some of the benefits, right? You're getting access, as I mentioned, to a network of sophisticated and qualified business buyers.
Okay. What is the average transaction size on?
Yeah, so it really depends on the category. There are businesses that are selling industrial equipment through Alibaba. There are businesses that are selling raw ingredients, consumer packaged goods on Alibaba. Typically, what we see, it ranges anywhere from $3,000 to $6,000 is the average transaction size. Specific to some of the retail sellers, the average transaction size tends to hover around 5,000. Again, it's important to remember that this is wholesale. So these are bulk purchases, whether it's by the container, whether it's by the truckload, by the pallet, by the case. We leave that up to our sellers. Our sellers can formulate the listings how they like. But those are the size of orders that are placed through our site.
Okay. What is the difference between basic and premium membership?
Good question. So to be clear, both premium and basic include the setup and onboarding support, right? You have that dedicated management from our team to ensure that you're set up for success, right? The difference is premium users maintain that dedicated support through the duration of your time with us. So you work really closely with an Alibaba expert to do a few different things. If you're interested in navigating international markets, that Alibaba expert or account manager is really close to the buyer behavior, and they can help you understand what are popular or competitive keywords or phrases for buyers in those regions that are searching for similar or comparable products. The account manager can help you engage, qualify customers as you communicate with them. And most importantly, help you optimize, right? Figure out ways and strategize for ways to improve your performance, right? Each and every month, our account managers do performance reviews to understand the previous 30 days. How did your account perform, and where can we improve? How can we improve your search ranking? How can we reach more buyers? How can we generate more inquiries and more business for your account? That's the major difference between the two.
Great. What are the top industries for US sellers you see signing up?
Yeah, good question. So I mentioned one of the earlier slides, the top industries that are on Alibaba.com. Number one is food and beverage. Number two, agriculture. Three, beauty, health, and wellness. And I think the common denominator there is consumables, right? Anything that goes in or on your body, our buyers on Alibaba want to purchase from the United States. And I think it goes without saying that anything that goes in or on your body, you want to make sure is safe. You want to make sure is high quality. And so that comes with being a business in the United States, right? Businesses in the US tend to have higher quality products. They tend to, the safety and regulatory laws surrounding those types of goods And so those are where a lot of our sellers today are focused in is those categories. And also overall trust of doing business with sellers in the US goes a long way. So food and beverage, agriculture, beauty and personal care, those are the sort of popular categories we see today.
Great. We received a follow-up question about the membership.
Sure.
So the seller pays a membership fee. Does a buyer also pay a fee?
Good question. The answer is no. The buyers do not pay a membership fee. However, when buyers join Alibaba.com, they are required to go through a vetting process. Right? So there is a vetting or qualifying process in place to ensure that they are a legitimate business. And so if that buyer passes the verification and that vetting of their business, they're able to start sending out inquiries and connect with sellers on our site. As a seller, when you receive an inquiry, there are key indicators that will show you whether or not this buyer has passed the vetting or verification process. So that way, you know, when you receive an inquiry, you'll know who they are, where they're located. You have a really in-depth insight into their business. And not only that, if you look into their buyer profile a bit more, you'll know what their sourcing process is, what the use case for Alibaba is. You know, if they're looking to purchase wholesale and then resell online on certain platforms, they'll indicate that. If it is a retailer on Alibaba.com, they will identify themselves as such. And so there's a lot of insight that our sellers have into who the buyers are once you receive an inquiry.
How has coronavirus impacted your business?
Good question. So it's been very interesting. Fortunately, it has impacted our business in a positive way. And I think the main reason for that is because a lot of businesses had to shut down or close their doors, and we've been able to provide a digital solution to keep businesses open. In addition to that, right, a lot of these in-person trade shows and events that a lot of businesses relied on to acquire new customers for the foreseeable future are non-existent. And so, as I've mentioned, we act as that virtual or online trade show. I've attended hundreds of trade shows, CES, the Magic Show, apparel in Las Vegas. Those thousands and thousands of businesses attend those events, and if those are no longer happening, and if those were heavily relied on to generate new customers and new orders for sellers, we provide a solution in place of that.
Can you explain a little more about how you guarantee copyright protection?
Yeah, good question. So Alibaba Group, right, at a group level, not just Alibaba.com, has and I can send more material on this later and share it with the attendees. We have a platform called Alibaba IPP, stands for Intellectual Property Protection. On that platform, it allows our sellers to register their business, their brand, their name with the Alibaba ecosystem. So not just Alibaba.com, but any other online platforms that we own. When you register your business and register your brand on Alibaba's IPP platform, that enables our team, the IP team, to search for and take action against any bad actors that are trying to sell your products or use your brand or use your name or images without the rights. And so that process is in place. We have clear guidelines to help you submit those claims, and it's something that we take very seriously. And working with our team closely, if that were to ever happen, can provide that security.
Okay, and how can viewers find out more?
Good question. So seller.alibaba.com. Again, I can include that in any material we send out after the webinar. You can chat with me directly. My email, my phone number is listed here on this slide. I'm happy to chat with anyone who's interested in learning more. We can have a more formal, in-depth conversation about your business and how we at Alibaba can help you specifically. And we can share that with everyone else who's attending.
Okay, well, thank you all for your questions and for attending today's seminar. A link to the on-demand version of this webinar will be sent to you following our program. For those of you who have further questions about the material covered today or whose questions were not addressed in the Q&A portion, please feel free to use the contact information provided in this presentation. Thank you and have a great day.